What's good, y'all? For this episode number 220, finally, we're going to be talking about what we've been watching, The Bear Season 4, F1, the movie, and then to finish it off, Ironheart Review Season 1, Episodes 4 through 6. Season's been out, right?
Yeah.
Season? Series?
I mean, haven't confirmed the second season.
I'm going to go
series finale.
Or series finale?
Technically.
Okay, I'm going to say series finale. Welcome to Film, where we break down films in a way anyone can enjoy. Whether you're new to movies or a seasoned fan, you're in the right place.
You are in the right place.
And also, who's in the right place with me? To my left, I got my dog, Izzy Iramia, a.k.a. Zay D.B. in the building.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
So tired. So unbelievably tired.
How come you tired? What's up? What happened?
I have a bone to pick with you, Disney.
Oh, yeah.
I think I said it last week. Some of us have jobs, and not all of us can watch 3 episodes in one sitting. But when you want to talk about it on a podcast, you have to watch all 3 episodes in one sitting. Can you stop releasing 3 episodes so that I could sleep? Because I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m. last night because I didn't get home till 12 because I closed at work.
Man.
So all I'm saying, Disney, is like, I don't know who you think y'all are, but most of us got jobs. And I know y'all don't do a whole lot of working over there, you execs. So let's just release it one a week. Just do one a week, please. But I have my coffee. I'm good. I'm chilling. Phil, how are you?
Maybe at least like 2 episodes a week or something, so that we
No.
can live up to something.
No. 1. That's it.
I feel like with the 6
Can't
episode
sit for 2
thing,
hours, bro. I can't sit for 2 hours. Just to give me an hour and that's it.
I feel you, but that was a little taste of what you guys are gonna get in the Ironheart section we got later on for you. But to start it off, I want to give a quick announcement.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the How to Train Your Dragon YouTube short.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap!
Oh,
is
yeah.
cooked. Is cooked with a really good question that got to you all, and we really appreciate you guys
100%,
for
yeah.
commenting, giving us all your thoughts and opinions on what should happen next with the live action sequel of How to Train Your Dragon. Whether it's they change some things, whether it should be small, big, or whether they should just add some things to certain characters, even just new scenes or something like that. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I just appreciate that you guys
100%.
gave us your thoughts and opinions. What did you think about the whole
I
thing?
appreciate you guys. I did not realize how many of y'all really care that much. That's all I'm saying.
lot
I
of
mean that in the
people.
nicest way possible. I don't mean that like a negative way. But I didn't realize how many of you guys cared, and that's really awesome to see that you guys really responded well to that post. Thank you guys for the comments. I read not all of them, but I read most of them. And it seems like a lot of people were in like the same like consensus, which was the dude that directed the originals is directing this. I trust him. He can basically do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Which I think is valid. I think I agree with that for the most part. And let's just see it. I think that the second one will be really telling. Let's see if maybe he takes it too far or he makes it perfect and like does a great job. So we'll just have to see.
I fully think he's gonna add stuff, but like
I think he will too, probably.
Yeah, but not like crazy, like where it's like, well, actually, I don't even know. You never know, because apparently he felt like in that thing I posted, the thing I read, that there were some things he could have added that he didn't get to for the animated one. So if it's good or adds to the story, whether it's character depth or even the storyline that we didn't even see or a new character, I'm curious to see where they take it. But I'm excited. And I'm happy that there are a lot of you guys out there that are fans of How to Train Your Dragon, because I remember as a kid watching this, I chose this movie over watching an Ontario Reign game, and I was very happy too. Very happy. And I'm just glad that there's still fans out there, a lot of you guys, and keeping it alive. But shout out to you guys, and thank you for responding. Keep it up, by the way, too. We will always be here with the questions and the hot takes for you guys with film.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, before we get into what we've been watching, there's one more announcement I have before we get into it. The Odyssey teaser trailer came out, directed by Christopher
That's
Nolan,
right, yeah.
starring Tom Holland, Matt Damon, John Bernthal, a whole bunch of all-star, like superstars, actors in the Hollywood business today. But it's not on YouTube. You can't just view it on YouTube or type it up.
Nope.
It is out in theaters. You can only watch it the way Christopher Nolan wanted you to watch it, in theaters. What do you think about that, Is?
Pretty cool.
I love it.
Does it say what movie it's like you have to go, or can I just go watch?
I think, for example, Jurassic World's out this week because the last movie I saw was F1, and there was no trailer for it. But Jurassic World's coming out, so I believe, or Jurassic World came out today, so I believe it's going to be playing when you're watching Jurassic World.
Okay, cool.
It might be for any movie, to be honest. Like, I think the movies coming out from this point, it'll be playing.
Odyssey's Universal, correct?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it's Universal.
I don't think so.
Odyssey, is it Universal?
Why was I thinking Warner Bros? Oh, it's Universal? Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, yeah. It'll probably be out or it'll probably show during the Jurassic World, like, previews or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. But do you think more movies should be doing this?
No. Mm-hmm. I think, like, it's cool. I like that they're doing it, but I don't think it's, like, necessary. Because, I don't know, like, I think it just, like, I think you're going to reach a lot more people if you watch it, if you put it on YouTube. You know, like, how many people are going to go out of their way to go watch an Odyssey trailer at a movie? I think the people that are going to go out of the way are the people that are already going to the movies, you know? Like, say I wasn't a moviegoer. I don't go watch the movies, right? But I like Christopher Nolan. I'm not going to go to the movies just to watch a trailer for Christopher Nolan's next movie, you know? I'd either just wait or see that they're going to drop it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I think it's a cool idea, though. Like, I respect him for doing that. I just don't. I hope more people don't do that. Like, I just, like, it's kind of a hassle.
You know what's funny? I actually did not care about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I cared way more about going to see the Avatar Way of Water teaser trailer.
Oh, really? Did they drop one for it?
So,
I didn't know that.
When Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was coming out, James Gunn or whichever company gets to know when movie trailers are coming out said that the Avatar The Way of Water trailer was going to be playing before the movie starts for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And that is literally the whole reason I went. I was just like...
That's crazy.
Because, I mean, I did want to see it, but I cared way more about the teaser trailer for Avatar The Way of Water than the actual movie of Doctor Strange.
That's insane.
I just wasn't that strong about it. I was going to see it, but I was like, I can wait like 2 weeks. And this was when I was like, you know, not that big. I mean, I'm always been big on movies, but I wasn't that big on the new age of Marvel for a sec. I was like, okay, I'll get into it, but like...
You're falling off a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, I like it. I kind of like it.
Yeah. I think it's a cool idea. I'm just like, again, it's just like, but like, what if I could just watch it on YouTube? You know, that'd be so much easier for me.
I'm not saying everyone should do that.
Yeah, totally.
But like, for big movies like this, like Avatar, The Odyssey, or even the Christopher Nolan movie, I'd be cool if those two...
I think it's like movies that don't need much marketing this works for. The Odyssey doesn't need marketing because people already, like, it's a Christopher Nolan movie with a crazy cast and a book that's very popular.
Yeah.
People are going to watch that. But like, I was trying to think of another example, but like for most other movies, like you kind of need that marketing cycle to get people into the theater, you know? Let's move on to what we've been watching. Phil, you've been watching more. Can I go really fast then? Yes. I know I usually start.
Yeah.
But I was like, I only watched one thing this week, besides The Bear, besides Ironheart, besides F1. The only thing I watched this week was Isle of Dogs. Wes Anderson film, if you're not familiar, an animated Wes Anderson film, if you are not familiar. It's very good. It's actually really good. I've only seen one other Wes Anderson movie. I watched Asteroid City, which I thought was like good. It was just very hard to follow.
Yeah.
Like I was like, which kind of pulled me out of it. Like I was like, oh, I think this movie's really cool, but I don't know if I really like it because I don't completely understand it. This movie I understood beginning to end, and I really liked it. And I think it's actually a very important movie in today's climate. And I think people should watch I Love Dogs because it's very good. It's also hilarious. Yeah. That movie is so funny. I don't know. There's something about the way... I feel like Wes Anderson is so aware that his filming style is kind of funny because he, like, since he's looking for always, like, that symmetry... Some shots are always going to look a little awkward.
Yeah.
And he plays into that.
Yeah.
Like, he knows things are going to look a little funny, so let's just give in and put it... Like, every time a dog was just deadpan into the camera, it's so funny looking. Or, like, not even just like his camera work, but like his writing with his jokes too. Some of the designs of the dogs all just look hilarious. And I really respect him for fully giving into his like artistic style. And I love that he's never like, probably since he started like making these movies, he's never wavered. Like his movies are always like this.
Yeah.
He doesn't change. He's not like, no, I'll probably get more of an audience if I do a movie like this. No, he's like, he does not care. I think he's one of the few, he's one of those directors that I think we should always support because he's one of the few that I feel like has a very unique style.
1000%.
Like, all directors are going to have their touch. They're going to have their, like, little things that they like doing. But I don't think anyone has a style as distinct as Wes Anderson. And, like, I just think we should champion that. Like, he's so talented.
I love his directing style.
Yeah, it's really cool. And now I want to watch more. I have Grand Budapest Hotel on my list. I want to watch that. I want to watch Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, I know that's what everyone says. I was telling my friend, he was like, I think I want to give in to Wes Anderson. And I'm like, I'm with you, bro. Let's watch the Fantastic Mr. Fox next. Because I know that's the one everyone like loves.
I love that movie.
And I feel like that one would hit hard for me. So I feel like I'd like that one the most. So
I think you would, bro. If you love Isle of the Dogs, you're going to love Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
I hope. I'm not trying to overhype it.
No. I've heard people say that. So that's why I'm like, I kind of want to do it. I think for me in Isle of Dogs, it's like, oh, I could, like, this is a great movie, but again, I'm not obsessed. And I think that's like my fear with Wes Anderson, or I'm like going to walk out always like, oh, that was a really good movie. I probably won't ever watch it again. Like, I probably won't like care. Like, unless someone I know, actually, that's a lie. Because if someone was like, Isaiah, I've never seen it before, you want to watch it? I'd be like, yeah, sure, let's do it. But like, me rewatching a movie, it's probably so far down on the list of a movie I'd want to rewatch. Like, I don't know, I don't really care to. But great movie, great message.
Oh yeah.
The performances are great. Bryan Cranston is so talented.
Oh yeah.
I love him so much, and I think everyone should go watch it.
Edward Norton was really good too.
Yes, he's very funny.
Bro.
Edward Norton is so funny, and I didn't realize how funny he was.
Bro, there's so many, like Bill Murray, Jeff Goldblum.
Goldblum is hilarious.
I know Bill Murray has been in a Wes Anderson film before, a lot. I think the first 3 that he came out with. But Bill Murray in that movie is unbelievably funny.
Jeff Goldblum is so funny in that movie because his whole, like, thing is he's like, did you guys hear the rumor about this? And they're like, no, what rumor? Wait, who are you talking about? And like, I don't know, the way they all talk is so chaotic, and I love that. Like, they're always just bouncing back and forth, talking very fast, and it makes it so much funnier, you know?
I did not know Ken Watanabe was in this movie too.
Dude, that movie has a cast.
Same with Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, that movie has a cast. Scarlett Johansson's in that movie too.
Yup, Nutmeg. But that movie's good, bro.
It's a great movie.
Did you watch anything else? Or did you have anything else to say?
Nothing on Isle of Dogs. Great movie. You guys should watch it. I'm trying to think if I watched anything else. Right. No. I didn't watch anything else. Because it was like The Bear came out and I watched that. And then I just randomly watched Isle of Dogs. And then I kind of got busy with work throughout the week. So I was just like, I can't watch anything.
Got you.
And if I am, I'm going to finish The Bear. So, no, nothing. Phil, please take it away. Because Phil has a list. Like always.
Not always, because I'm always just trying to watch something, bro.
Lately, you've had a list, my guy. Let's hear it.
I just watch stuff, bro. This week, or technically last week and this week, I watched K-Pop Demon Hunters, finished it. Squid Game Season 3, finished it. The Walking Dead Season 4, almost
Damn!
2 episodes left. I've been going in, bro. I'm not going to lie. This show is good. And then Megan 2.0. I added Megan 2.0 to this section because we don't really have too much to say.
Because no one cares.
Yeah, that's the big problem with it. But I want to start off with The Walking Dead Season 4.
Cool.
It's a very good show. The Walking Dead is very good. I understand from the people who are watching this show, I believe in the 2010s or something like that. I forgot when it came out. But I understand the fandom for this show now. I understand why you guys care about these characters, and I understand why it is that deep. The conversations, because I know I was talking about choices last week, like the choices they make have dire consequences. The conversations these people have from Season 3 and Season 4, you relate to them on such a deep level. And then I was trying to figure out why everybody loved Daryl so much. He's the guy who...
That's Norman Reedus, right?
Norman Reedus, who plays the main character in Death Stranding, along with Ballerina too. he's such like I understand why people love him. I understand why, and he's low key becoming one of my favorite characters. Same with Rick. I really like Rick. I honestly everybody part of Rick's game was my favorite character, but I ain't gonna
Grimes?
lie. Huh?
Rick Grimes?
I believe so.
Okay, man,
I don't
I've
know
never
his
seen that
last
damn
name.
show.
But just to finish it off quick with The Walking Dead, because I mean, there's still a lot. There's 11 seasons. I don't know if I might take a break. But for the 4 seasons I've seen right now, I love it. I love it, and you know what? Screw it. I might just finish and get to season 11. I might. It's such a good show, man. It's so good, and every character and all the relationships and all the stuff like they get into is unbelievably well written and so well shot, and so the stakes that are in like season 4, like, oh man, I understand why people hate the governor, because I remember when I was in school and people kept on saying, like, I remember we were doing a history class and they mentioned like, oh, and he's the governor. Everybody in the room said, never say that name, and I was like, well, why? Now I understand why.
You don't say the governor's name?
No, you don't. I hate the governor. I hate that guy. I hate him. Like, I understand now. I hate that guy. What he did in that show, and
couldn't have been that bad,
bro. Oh, it was bad. It was bad. But yeah, I love The Walking Dead. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly suggest watching it, especially if you want a long series to watch, because also the conversations and stuff that goes into it, because the action is okay, but you can still listen to it and just have it in the background and just be like, whoa. Like, there's so many times they just talk, and the talking points or the dialogue and the monologues that they get into, so good. So yeah, if you need a long show to watch, I highly suggest it. Next up I want to talk about is K-pop Demon Hunters.
This is the one I'm so curious about, because everyone was talking about it on Twitter for like excuse me, for the couple days that it like came out. I was like, should I watch this? And then like I didn't. It's a movie, right?
Yeah, it's a movie, and it's made by the same people who animated the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, so it's Sony Animated Pictures?
Sony Animated Pictures.
Dude, they just be doing random stuff, and it's fire.
Bro,
like, I don't understand.
The Mitchells versus the Machines, that one was another one that came out of nowhere and was really good. Like, my family loves that one. But this one surprised me, because I remember hearing, like, I saw a notification pop up saying, like, an animated studio is working on an animated movie that's aimed towards K-pop fans, and I was like, oh great, here we go. Like, just to like get some more fans to go towards K-pop.
It's gonna be stupid.
Yeah, it's gonna be stupid. It's gonna be cheesy. This movie, at the start, I'm not gonna lie, seemed like it's gonna be cheesy. Like, but the animation style was unbelievable. Like, I just want to say this: if you guys thought that Sony Animated Pictures, or even the people who animated the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse like movies were going to fall off, they're never gonna fall off, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna start picking the Sony Animated Pictures over Pixar Animation, over Disney Animation, over what's the name? DreamWorks Animation. The animation style in K-pop Demon Hunters is unbelievable. Like, if you are an artist, and if you like all just wanted to like watch something just to watch it, like just turn the like volume off and watch it, you could totally do that with this movie. It is beautiful. It looks amazing. Even the facial expressions, they got it, because that's another thing I love about Sony Animated Pictures. The way they animate emotion on certain characters, like their facial expressions, even their body movement and the mannerisms, it's unbelievable. It's so good. And like, I love that detail. But going back to turning the volume off, you can turn it right back up, because the story is pretty good too. The story and the music. It took me out a little bit, because at first I'm watching the start of it, I'm hearing them like, you know, performing, singing. Next thing you know, they stop, and then it gives me a little bit of a story. And it throws in points that I wasn't even thinking about. Like, I was thinking, okay, like it's this group that is a K-pop group, three women, and they slay demons. That's pretty much it. That's what I was thinking it was going to be. I think it's going to add some drama, and it's going to be, like, simple. It's going to be simple. No. The story throws some crazy, like, twist that you didn't expect to be in there. And it was kind of like, ooh, where's this going to go?
I think I'm going to watch this. I think I'm probably going to watch it this weekend. Okay. I do really want to watch it.
I won't like. I'm not trying to say this is the greatest animated movie of all time. I'm just saying
it's surprisingly good.
It's surprisingly good.
Uh-huh.
And the story that they give you, because I don't want to spoil anything. I just want to say that the story they give you is enough, and to follow, because the whole point of this is to put people on K-pop for sure. But the story they give you is something you don't expect. Like, it gets deep. It gets pretty deep, and I like the way it not mellowed out, but concluded at the end. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, I actually really want to see these characters again. I would low-key love to just see a fun, like, you know how there was Big Hero 6 and they created that animated series after that?
Yeah.
I would love something like that for this. Just K-pop Demon Hunters, the series or something. Or Huntrix, the series. I would love that. But if there wasn't to be anything else to go along with this, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad because I think that it concluded very well and it fulfilled its mission that it was trying to do. But I really like the music, and I'm not even a K-pop fan. Like, I love the sound of the music. I loved the characters. I even loved the villains. And I just loved the animation style. So the whole movie was something that I enjoyed, and I would definitely watch it again. My official rating, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Gave it an 8 out of 10.
I'm going to check it out for sure.
Yeah, but...
For you, Phil, I'll check it out.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
But yeah, just to finish it off, I would check it out if I were you guys. If you're an animation fan, if you're a K-pop fan, and if you even love a little bit of a story, please check it out. But anyways, yeah. To finish it off, saw Squid Game Season 3.
Talk about it.
Didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
Didn't like the ending.
Can I go really fast?
Go.
For the record, I didn't watch it. I got it spoiled for me. Here was my view on Squid Game when it came out. Maybe a hot take. It felt like a show that didn't know what it was doing. It felt like a show that was going to come out first season, be a banger. Like, I forgot the writer's name, but he had like a banger first season that he tried to sell. And then once it hit the way it did, he had no plan after. And can I be honest? I feel like from what I understand from the ending, I was 100% right. Because it almost seems forced. It almost seems that show should have ended on season 1 and then you call it. But no, Netflix was like, nah. We're going to make a cinematic universe out of this. And we're going to make different country shows. And then we're going to make a reality show. So this is why I never watched Squid Game, because I just kind of always felt that I was going to waste my time if I watched it. That I was going to like the first season, but be like, I'm not really with all this extra stuff that they're trying to do. And when the second and third season, you kind of start wrapping up that big picture stuff that I'm not interested in, like, I wasn't going to be into that. Like, it wasn't going to be good. And it seems that was the case. Now that they had to shift more of the focus onto actually properly, like not just the games, but like the people controlling the games, that's where the show starts to like fall off a bit, because it's like, we don't have a real plan here. There's good mystery, but we don't have like we don't have the solution to that. We don't have like we don't have the point, you know? The mystery is purely for mystery and drama's sake, but we don't have the conclusion to the mystery. We don't have like the result of when everyone finds it out. It's not going to be this big thing. And I just feel like the show, like, I always had that feeling that was going to be the case. So that's why I never watched it. Phil, does that kind of feel true?
Yeah, kind of feels true. Do you mind if I give spoilers?
No.
So, season 1, loved it. I still love it.
Spoiler
I still
warning.
don't think it was a waste of time. I thought that was...
Yeah.
I love it. I will watch it over and over again no matter what. Season 2, I still love, because they introduced a new idea that technically was there in the first season, but, you know, the character who won the games in the first part came back and found that loophole. And I thought that would be a way to elevate the story to another level. Give me a new out with this. Because one thing that made Squid Games really good in season 1 was the characters that were helping Ji-hyun. And yes, they all died, but I still loved all those characters. And in the second season, I felt like I was liking way more characters from both sides that kept on deciding we should continue to play the game, we should not continue to play the game. It kept on switching because, you know, people, money, greed, life, comes in. But that's the reason why I'm angry, because you pretty much kept it the same from season 1, where you didn't even have to do that. Like, I am not mad. Before season 3 came out, I wasn't mad about the ideas about like a Squid Games American version. Squid Games, I think they were doing another. I think it's just the American version now.
Yeah.
But I wasn't mad about it. I am mad now because, spoiler alert, everyone died. Everyone died. Everyone except for one person, a small little baby that was born in Squid Games. I think that was the worst mistake it could have made, in my opinion, and this is why. Giving them the decision to choose between whether to continue the game or not was the best way to get all these characters that we just grew attached to in season 2, and then I thought they were going to form a team and then try to like stop the American games and stop all the games, and then it just grows, and then they can like Gi-hyun is in the leader of that. And whether you want to kill him later, by all means, but to kill every character off, including him, and then just make it like, okay, like he sacrifices himself. And I love that. I love that he sacrificed himself for the baby. That shows that he's not a selfish person at all. He was, but now he's changed. I like that. But the way it was done, it's just like...
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think it's stupid that your ending of the main show was just to tease a spin-off show.
That too.
Like, that seems significantly less satisfying. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, oh, they did all this work to end the games, but, oh, look, it's everywhere else now.
That's
Stay tuned for a couple years when we make another show. You know, like, that just doesn't... Like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
But then Screen Time just tweeted, literally right before we started recording, they just tweeted quotes from the director of Squid Games and what his purpose was of that ending. And apparently he wanted Ji Hyun's sacrifice to be a symbol of hope, I guess, for the world today. Because he's trying to say, like, the world's going bad, and I guess we need something to be a message to that, and that there is still humanity or something like that.
Like people can move away from greed, because like the entire like symbol behind the Squid Games is that everyone's so greedy. That's why the dude tries to kill his own kid.
Yeah.
Like, so by the main dude sacrificing himself for this baby, it's like a way of showing like, look, he can change, so can all of you. But,
yeah, which is why I'm not too mad about that. Like, I'm not saying the death of Gi-hyun is like in a way it is the worst decision ever, but you could have done that later. That's what I'm trying to say.
I just don't think, like I kind of expected him to die. I just don't think I like the idea of, crap, I lost it. Like, I just don't like the idea of them using it as like, oh, look, we ended his story, and now we're going to do this next thing.
Yeah.
But look, he's a symbol of hope. But, like, does anyone even know that he did that?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, so how is that, like a thing for, like, the director? How is he going to say that? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like screwed it up for me. Like, now, literally, after he sacrifices himself, you go to the game master or something like that, and he gives his Gi-hyun's clothes to his daughter along with the money that he won from the first game he won.
Yeah.
And it just ends there, and she doesn't. The worst thing that the thing that makes it worse is she doesn't even know why she has the clothes, because she doesn't know what the hell this game is, and she doesn't know where this card came from. She knows probably it has money on it. She's probably gonna be like, "Ooh, I'm rich, yay!" But she doesn't know what her dad did to do that. And wait. The thing that makes it even worse for me too is now it seems like they shifted focus from Gi-hyun to the game master, and then you go to that scene where you have Kate Blanchett.
Mm-hmm. Kate Blanchett.
He's in LA or San Francisco, or he's in America. And what makes this even worse is I thought when I was watching the scene that he was just looking to find a certain person he knew from the games. Apparently this was all a coincidence. Apparently he was driving in a random street at a random time
and people just
and looked to the right, and he saw in America they were playing a Korean game in an alleyway with a homeless person, and it happened to be Kate Blanchett,
That's so funny that
like,
she's doing this.
Yeah, trying to get this dude to perform in the American version of Squid Games. So that makes it even worse. And the director said that apparently he had speculation that there were other Squid Games, but then seeing that surprised him. I'm like, how is he surprised? How is he? Like, that just makes it even more screwed up. So now I'm thinking, like, going back to what you said, Netflix pushing for more spin-offs might have ruined the show.
I think so.
And that might have been what happened. Because
100%.
that makes zero sense. Because now, like I said, Gi-Hyun dying, I don't care about any of these other characters. I don't care. I don't care about the Game Master. I don't care about his brother. Those are the two that survived. I care about the people who were in Squid Games. Season 2, you gave me a perfect meal. You gave it to me. And then season 3, before I could even finish or before I could actually enjoy it, you put some, like, either too much spice in there or you ruined it with too much salt or something. Like, you ruined the dish. You ruined it. And it was like, for what? A spinoff? With characters that now I have to try to get to know? How am I going to get more connected with these characters in the American version of Squid Games after what happened with Gi-Hyun? Like, I don't feel like I can get connected at all. Mm-hmm. Because these are just going to be other people that
are going to go through almost probably the exact
same thing.
Yeah.
You gave me a good story. You gave me a good character. He would have been a good dude to carry this through, and then maybe later when he's trying to take down the American, the African, or whatever other type of Squid Games there is, he would have been able to take care of all that and maybe sacrifice himself for somebody else who I might learn to grow to care about. But to sacrifice him here and expect me to care about these next characters coming in, I just can't do that. I can't. Like, I'm not going to lie. I will watch the American Squid Games, but it's not going to be as good as season 1 and 2 of Squid Games.
I will not. I'm not bugging. Like, I'm not budging on this. I don't even care if this American show is great. Not watching it. I just, like, refuse to, like, give in at this point. Not even necessarily because I'm not interested in the concept. Now this is just an ego thing. Like, I just don't want to watch it. I did want to say really fast before we shift to your Megan 2.0
Yeah, it'll be
review.
quick, though.
Dude, I don't know why I keep losing my thought. It's so bad. I think because of how tired I am. I blanked, bro. I blanked.
It's okay. Is it about Squid Games?
Yeah, it was about Squid Games. I was going to say something, and I don't remember what it was.
You want me to go to Megan 2.0?
Yeah, just go to Megan. That was embarrassing.
It's okay.
Oh, my gosh.
You'll remember it while I'm saying something. But anyways, I'm going to keep this quick. I saw Megan 2.0. I did not like it, and it's because it felt like a shift. Before I saw Megan 2.0, I saw the first Megan movie literally 3 hours before I saw it, and I thought it was actually pretty interesting. I don't think it was perfectly good, but for the budget they had and for what they accomplished with it, I thought it was really cool. Now, there were some scenes in it where it was like they were using old demonic, like, you know how you've seen, because I saw The Conjuring in the past, both movies, 1 and 2, and even the new one, and I also saw like past horror movies, and there are always those cliche, like, walking on the walls, like floating. The way they shot that movie, they electronically did that. Like, there wasn't a ghost possessing Megan or something like that. It was just a robot. It was a robot doing like old movie cliches, but electronically. So I thought that was cool. And I think that was one reason why people liked that movie. But going away from that and shifting it to an action-adventure type comedy, it didn't feel right to me. It felt off. It felt weird. It felt like they were trying to appease a different crowd where you didn't really have to do that because...
Probably the crowd that latched on so much to the first one, I feel like. That, like, was like, this movie's so funny, and, like, that they were like, no, let's just give in to that. Let's just give in to the bit and, like, move away from the horror stuff.
Well, yeah, if you made it a horror comedy, maybe that would have been better, but a horror action comedy, or I can't even say the new movie was a horror movie.
I saw someone compare it. It's like Terminator 1 to Terminator 2, just not as good.
It was a mix of Terminator... It was like a collab between Terminator and Fast and Furious. Like, it was... No, I'm not even playing. It literally did that. And it didn't have to do that. And in the theater, like, a lot of people were just like me. They got drowned out. Like, I was still watching it, but at the same time, I was like, this is the most cliche, like what's the movie? Plant? What's the word? Plant? When somebody calls
an industry plant?
Like an industry plant type of movie. It was just... Yeah. It wasn't good, but... I just want to ask you guys, because for the fans of the first movie, did you all want this? Like, did you want that horror aspect still, or did you want this action adventure comedy type role? Because to me, watching the first movie, I was like, what they're doing with it is very creative. Like, it's interesting. It's cool. It's not the best movie, in my opinion, but it's cool. So, did you guys want this action-adventure comedy crap, or did you want just more horror to it? Did you want it to be more scary? I'm just being curious because Soulmate's coming out next. And James Wan is, I believe he's director or producer on it, and he said it's supposed to be much scarier, but I don't even know if it's... This whole series isn't that scary. It's interesting, but it's not that scary to me.
Did anyone even want a sequel?
That
I
too.
feel like did any of you guys want a sequel to this? I feel like that's like the thing for me. It made a lot of money. I was curious. I looked it up. It had made 180,000 worldwide, which is insane. Or million, sorry, 180 million worldwide, which is insane. But like, how many dudes are gonna be like, you know what? I want a sequel to this movie. Like, I'm curious. I'm not saying it to mock you guys. Like, I'm just very curious to hear. Did you guys want that? Like, was there a sequel necessary?
It ended teasing a sequel. The first movie.
Did it really?
Yeah, it ended teasing a sequel.
Movies nowadays.
But it wasn't like an end credit scene or something. It was more like it swayed over to this electronic device, and then it turned its head on its own. So then you were like,
oh, but you can end it like that.
That's true.
It's like at the end of Venom 3 when it's like, Venom's alive.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's all I had to say about Megan 2.0. I just thought, I'm going to be for real, that movie was a waste of my time.
Out of 10?
Huh?
Out of 10?
I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4. That's on the level of Snow White, in my opinion.
Damn.
I'm going to be for real.
Coming out Rachel Zegler, what'd she do to you?
Same with Novocaine, because I hated that movie too.
Really? I didn't hate it, but it wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
Overhyped for sure. Yep. Okay, and I love you, Jack Quaid. I love you.
Oh, I love Jack Quaid.
I love Jack Quaid.
He acted and did like the best he could.
He's great in everything.
But I just thought the movie was stupid.
Yeah. This has never happened before.
What you mean?
We have breaking news. The creator, Neil Druckmann, will not return to write season 3 and will instead shift his focus to the studio's video games that they are working on. He says this: I've made the difficult decision to step away from my creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO. With work completed on season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on season 3, now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects, including writing and directing our exciting next game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. Co-creating the show has been a career highlight. It's been an honor to work alongside Craig Mazin to executive produce, direct, and write the last 2 seasons. I'm deeply thankful for the thoughtful approach and dedication the talented cast and crew took to adapting The Last of Us Part 1 and the continued adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2. This is from Naughty Dog's Twitter. Literally 10:41 a.m., so 20 minutes ago. Good. Neil, you're better than them. You're better than HBO. You're better than Craig. I'd much rather you be working on video games than just an adaptation of a game you already made.
Yeah.
Look, funny enough, all of the episodes he directed, if I'm not mistaken, are fantastic. They were all great, and he was obviously the highlight there besides the actors, specifically Pedro Pascal. And I forgot the dude that played... why am I forgetting his name? Tommy. I like Tommy's actor a lot.
Tommy's actor. One sec.
But anyways, I'm really happy you're moving on. I think this is the right call for him. I think that team has way too much on their plate, and I really don't think Neil Druckmann needs to
Gabriel
be...
Luna.
Gabriel Luna, great. I don't think he needs to even really be at HBO working on this. Like, I think there's just so much more on his plate that I'd rather him focus his attention on. But I want to talk about what does that leave the future of the ending of The Last of Us Season 3. And I think it brings it more in jeopardy than it ever did. I think they already fumbled the bag enough. I think the show was already doomed. I think, like, I don't want to sound like a crazy hater because it's not out. But I just didn't like what they did with the first part of Season 2 of the game, of Part 2. And I don't think they could bring that around in Season 3 because of where that story goes. I won't spoil it, but because of where the story goes, I think it's going to be very hard for them to bring it back and like save it. So I'm happy about this. Let's just get this over with, finish it, end it, and then we'll remember the first season, and we're going to completely ignore that they did 2 more seasons. And I'm cool with that, personally.
I'm cool with that, too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like, they did some interesting things in season 2, but it just didn't hit for me. If it hit for you guys, power to you. Like, I'm happy that you guys are happy. It's just that my fandom for the live action show has decreased.
No. I don't want to be Mr. Speculation speculator. But my question is he stepping away because of the studio being very busy, or is he stepping away because he's not liking what they're doing with season 3?
I think he's not liking it.
You think?
I think that might be what it is.
That team is very busy. They are they're dropping a big new game, first new IP in what year are we in? Like almost 15 years. It's their first new thing, not a sequel, nothing in 15 years. Like this is a big deal, but I kind of agree with you. I think after a lot of the backlash season 2 got, and for the most part, I don't think it was because of the politics and the quote unquote wokeness of the show. I don't think a lot of it actually was that. I think a lot of it was mainly them just doing a bad job.
I think it was just literally just story driven. Like they were picking and choosing what was important and what was not.
Look, I imagine there's some losers out there that were hating it for the wrong reasons.
There was definitely that.
The same way people did for part 2. But I think in this case, it was definitely more so story decisions that people were just like not vibing with. So I might agree with you. I think it could be both. I think it actually could honestly be a little bit of both. It's really unfortunate what happened with this show. Yeah. It's very, very unfortunate because it's had so much promise to be the greatest video game adaptation, and it pooped the bed very quickly. And I just wanted to say that really fast. Neil Druckmann, I love you. I support you. You're my love. Anyways, dude, I think I've done that so much on like the podcast where I just like say I love you to these random people I don't even know. But one day, like, you're going to see this and you're going to be like, wow, who's that guy? And I'm going to be like, my name's Isaiah and I want to live with you.
Imagine Comic-Con, you just, like, he's like, hey, you're the guy who said who loves me. Yeah. And you're just like, yeah, and then he brings up
Let me live with you.
Oh, gosh, okay. All right, never mind.
Anyways, let's get back to the pod. We have, like, 18 minutes. Excuse me. Phil! Okay, hear me out here, right?
You want to do...
Last of Us didn't cook at all.
Yeah.
That show did not cook whatsoever. You know what show cooks pretty hard? They actually do a lot of cooking on that show.
Okay.
Tons of cooking.
And would you say that there might be a bear involved with it?
Maybe there is. Let's talk about season 4 of The Bear. Phil, you go first. Season 4. Let's do non-spoilers just really fast, and then we'll talk spoilers.
I am going to be for real. I enjoyed it, but I did not enjoy it as much as the first 3 seasons. I'm going to be for real. I liked certain episodes. I did. But I think it's because there are certain things I expect differently than other people with the show. I'm going to put that out there because I know you probably love the crap out of it. But with me, it just wasn't my favorite season. Still up there, though. I'd watch this show definitely over other shows. But this season right here, I was in and out a couple of times.
Number score?
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
On this podcast, I give authentic takes. We both give authentic takes, and I want to be real with y'all. I just want to be real on my perspective. It's not bad, though, but it's not what I was expecting.
I appreciate and value.
We listen and we don't judge.
Listen, we don't judge.
No, we judge. We judge.
Okay. Season 4 of The Bear. Let me set the stage for you.
Okay.
The Bear is a show I love a lot. Dare I say it's one of my favorite shows of all time. Dare I say. Okay. Top 5, maybe even top 3 with Invincible. Actually, I think it'd be like Invincible and The Bear are like my shows. Those are the shows that I love so much. Season 4, I thought was absolutely incredible. Every second. The amount of times I had chills, the amount of times I'm like holding back tears, the laughs that I had throughout this season. This show is insane. I won't give season 4 of 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. I don't think it's a season 2. I don't think it's like that. Season 2 is its peak.
Yeah.
For sure. Not even a question.
Oh yeah.
But I was explaining this to Anthony, my brother. I said this. I was like, you know what I think I love about The Bear so much? It's that season 2 is the best season, hands down. And then seasons 1, 3, and 4 are all just great. Great to incredible, you know? Season 2 is the peak, and then the rest of them are like, I can't even like compare them. Like, they're all just so good, you know, that like it's not even worth comparing them to me. I could rank it for the TikTok clip, you know? But like, and like, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we do that. But like, if I'm being dead serious with you, if you're having a one-on-one conversation with me about how much I love this show, I would not sit here and tell you that like any season goes over the other. You know, besides I just think season 2 is the best. Season 4 of The Bear is absolutely incredible. I think everything from the characters, from the story, from the tension to the comedy, to just everything. It was hitting like insanely hard. It was hitting like I don't want to spoil it, but this is the last thing I'll say before we talk about spoilers. I love how much this show has matured. This show is so much, and I think I said it. We talked about season 3 last year, like during the top 10s. This show is more than it's yelling. This show is more than them cussing. This show has matured so much, and the creator, Christopher something, I'll double check his name in a second, but I'm on a roll.
Keep going.
He has unwavered. He has not been like, you know what? Everyone likes how much they all yell at each other and scream, so let's just keep doing that. No. These characters have changed. All these characters have developed. These characters are all going through their own things that go beyond the kitchen. It's like everyone is dealing with stuff in their personal life, and they're not just constantly bringing it back to the kitchen and having them all yell and scream at each other. Now we see people finally dealing with things and like growing as people and changing and becoming better. So now let's talk about spoilers.
Well, before you say that, the creator is Christopher Storer.
Christopher Storer. That's what I'm gonna say. For this, I want to talk about spoilers really fast because I mainly just want to bring up I want to go through most of the characters. I want to bring up Carmi for a second because I think Carmi is where this like shines the most. Carmi being the yeller, I feel like he's the guy that's like constantly yelling and cussing and all that. Him quitting smoking is the first sign of change, right? That was like him working on him. But for me, what did it was his conversation with his mom. And I almost started crying. Like, actually, like, I was like, chills. Whoops. I was at work, and I'm sitting there. Phil, I'm not even kidding. I'm sitting there with my headphones on outside. And, like, I've
Tomato episode, right?
Huh?
Tomato episode.
And I have people coming up to me, and I'm sitting there like this, like, trying to hold it back because I'm at work. And I was just like, dude, their conversation is so good.
Yeah.
And the way Jamie Lee Curtis, I forgot, like, the mom's name, but, like, Jamie Lee Curtis, the way she has like developed in that character so well, dude. From the Christmas episode to Sugar's pregnancy episode to this, I'm like, wow, dude, that's someone who's changing. What I love about this show so much is it's the best reminder that I think everyone needs.
Yep.
And it's that everyone can change. Everyone can change as long as they're willing. We were talking about Squid Games and the director said the world's going bad. This is a sign of hope for the world, whatever. But I think the way he did it is fairly generic. Everyone does it like this. The Bear takes serious time and focus and these long one-shot dialogue moments to really delve into these characters and understand where they're at, what they're thinking, and how they can improve. And I love it for that. Every time the camera's on the person, I'm like, dude, how are they still acting? Like, this is insane. How are they still going? This season is as close to perfection as you're gonna get. I love it so much. It's so good, so good. Carmi still texting his brother killed me. That like I hated it, but like I didn't hate it. I just like it like made me really sad. Like I care so deeply about every single one of these characters, and I want to see them succeed so much.
Yeah.
A standout for me, and I'll let you go after, but a standout for me was the episode with like the reviewer, the guy that works at the magazine, but they don't know that, and they do the snow and the pizza for the or not the pizza. Sorry, they do like the snow for the people. Was it pizza? Is that what they gave her? She like wanted to try.
It was ice cream. It was sometimes dessert.
I don't remember. Regardless,
it was scallops, right? That episode.
Yes, probably.
Wait.
It doesn't matter. When they surprised that like
Episode 2.
When they surprised the girl who just gotten like through cancer.
Yeah.
And they like give her the snow and all that, dude. And like they're all having a good time, and then the reviewers just smiling at them. I was like, bro, chills, dude.
Yep.
I want to see them succeed so much.
Exactly.
So good. It's so good. I want to talk more about it, but I want you to go a little bit. If you want to get some specifics, some spoilers, explain yourself a little bit.
Well, before we do go on, Jamie Lee Curtis's name was Donna Borsato.
Donna, that's right.
Donna. But yeah, like I love what you said about how this show keeps maturing, like each season. Like that's what I appreciate about it. Like without a doubt. Like I appreciated the talks, like you saying that them seeming like they like how do you still act in these long takes and them having these dialogues and monologues in these certain scenes. They were amazing. Like I want to shout out the episode between Carmi and his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend Claire.
Oh my gosh.
That conversation there.
Dude.
If you all have a hard time like me trying to apologize to a person because you know you're in the wrong but you're trying to get your words right, that was literally the embodiment of how a conversation like that would go. Like Carmi going up, trying to talk to her, she's angry too, but she doesn't want to talk. And then they just slowly they just keep rising and rising with that anger. And next thing you know, I'm sorry. Why are you sorry? That is exactly how it goes in real life, bro. That's what I appreciate. And then that episode when it shows Sid with, I believe it was a family friend or a cousin.
Yeah.
And she was chilling with her daughter and like just talking with her about life. I loved that episode. I loved it. I think that the only reason. Oh, and I want to mention the wedding. I was thinking wedding.
Yeah,
episode.
I wanted to talk about that episode specifically.
Like I love that one, and I love how everybody was trying not to like repeat that dinner episode.
Yeah,
and I love how that was almost like a revival of like or a redemption of
because no one was yelling and screaming at each other
except for sticking Brie Larson.
Oh yeah, Fack.
Oh yeah,
Facts.
What's her name? Francie.
Francie. Yeah, Francie Fack.
Francie Fack.
So
and then
good.
You find out why, but then like I love how they still dealt with that maturely and they like apologized.
Yeah.
To each other and still cared for each other.
I thought that was funny. It was like that was like that yelling felt more comedic than like serious.
Yeah, but like that episode was just so good because like you have the dinner episode where everybody's just angry and pissed off for different reasons and because stuff is going on. And then like the car crash or the car going through the stinking wall. But then you have this wedding where like everybody doesn't want that to repeat. That's the most the one thing that is on everybody's mind. Let's not have a moment. Let's not have a moment. Let's not have a moment. Let's just make this a nice day. And the thing that made me love that episode so much is when the whole episode is almost about the stepdad trying to like have a moment with his daughter, with his new daughter. And then Richie and Carmi and everybody go under the table and they're talking about how like, they're scared too. Because the daughter, I just love how she was to me, she was the heart of that episode because she brought out what everybody was like scared of or what everybody was feeling. And like, she's like, I'm scared to go dance. And everybody's like, well, why are you scared? Like, I'm scared. And she's like, really? And then everybody's starting to realize like what they're truly scared of. And if it's really like a scary thing for them, if they can face it, if they have to face it, or if they like, it was kind of like an encouragement for them to face what they're doing. Like, and the way I'm sounding right now, it sounds like I loved this season. Like, don't get me wrong, I liked it, but I think the one thing that I love about this show is chaos. I do love that because those kitchen scenes make me love it a lot. And I know this may be a bad critique, but like having 1 or 2 or 3 of those episodes of them just like yelling in the kitchen. I'm not expecting yelling, but I guess I was hoping to see like them in a dinner service besides the snow and everything. Just like a whole 30-minute shot that almost seems like a one take of them just working in unison. Like finally just got it figured out, and then they're just going boom, boom, plate, and then it's just a perfect dinner service for like just one episode.
But they did do that.
Which one?
That was that episode. Remember when like it's all red and they're freaking out, and then
yeah.
like it starts getting the green and the green and the green. It's like wow. And then even like I think Tina's development where she finally is able to like get the pasta at 3.
That was good. That was the last episode, right? Mm-hmm. No,
yeah,
that wasn't goodbye, was it?
It was either episode 9 or 10. Yeah, it was one of the two. But I just think like for me, I think at this point in the show, we're bound to get one more like something bad happens in the kitchen and it's super chaotic. It's gonna happen once, you know. You need that like look, we're all changed, we're better, and then we immediately go back. Look how bad we are, whatever. That's gonna happen. That's just normal show. But I do think the show doesn't need those scenes anymore, because if it did happen like 1 or 2 times more than it does already, then it kind of shows that everyone's really the same and like no one's really changed. These people aren't growing, but all these people have chemistry. All of them work together now. It's not like Carmi's coming in, he's trying to change the entire system and then rebuild this whole thing and then do that. A lot of the yelling and the arguments, the screaming now happens in like real conversations. I think of the last episode with him and Richie when they're yelling at each other and he's like...
That was a really good episode.
So good. And I think like... really, that's where a lot of the yelling comes from. It's them like hating each other.
Yeah.
Them like butting heads all the time. But now that like they all know their roles in the kitchen, that doesn't happen as often. So now it's about how like the situations they're dealing with personally outside of the kitchen. That's when they're still butting heads. Richie and Carmi aren't still good. They weren't good, at least.
Yeah.
It wasn't until that they finally had that conversation.
Finally communicated.
And it's freaking great, dude. I remember I was on IMDb, I like ranking the episodes, and I was looking at it, and I'm like, is that a 10? Like, I think of, I gave the wedding episode a 10. I think it's incredible. Like, Fishes, the Richie episode is a 10. Forks, that's the Christmas episode, that's a 10. The finale of season 2, a 10. The expo episode, like, get the fuck off my expo shit now. That episode is a 10.
Yep.
The final episode of that show, 10. Those are like the 10s for me, you know? Everything else like 8s, 7s, 9s, you know, like it wavers. And I was like, why do what separates a 10 from a 9 or a 9? And it's the dialogue. Yep. It's the characters going through something major. That's always when I'm like, okay, I'm in. That episode had that. And low-key, I think that episode might have had it the best out of most of them. I think season 2, other than season 2, I think that episode had that like big conversation the best. It was so good. The payoff was so great. I want to go back to what you said earlier. We have 2 minutes. I'm going to say this very fast. Actually, let's just do the annual cut. Be right back. Annual cut. Okay, we're back. We're still talking about the bear. I'm sorry. We had to do it. Like, I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm going to talk. I'm going to think I'm going to get it for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go 7 minutes over, and we're not looking at the camera. What was I saying, though? Damn, see, that's the problem.
You were well, you said you were mentioning something that I said.
You said.
Yeah.
And I was going to...
You were bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
About a certain episode?
I'm trying to remember. Damn it, dude. I should have kept talking. I do have more to say, though, on the show, just in general. The episode with Sid and her dad hit. It wasn't a specific episode. It was, like, near the end of the episode. And then, so, funny story. I had to walk out of my room. I had to go deal with something. I come back in my room, and I see Sid crying. And I'm like, what the heck? What happened? Like, oh, my gosh. Like, she looks like she's in a hospital. I'm freaking out. So I go back to the previous episode to, like, finish it because it, like, kept playing. And I was like, oh, my gosh, dude. Like, her dad's dead. Like, really? Like, are you serious right now? And then I watched the episode. I'm like, no, he's fine, thank God. But, like, watching her...
I was worried about that.
That conversation with Claire was insane. Like, it was such a great conversation for two characters that don't even really interact, but like they just connected so like they just connected on like a much deeper level, and that relationship now exists, and like now that's like another interaction that I can't wait to see. And this is what I was gonna say. Every conversation feels so real, and I was gonna bring it back. I forgot what episode you Claire and Carmi's like argument, and like him apologizing. You said it. You were like, if you've ever tried to apologize to someone when you were in the wrong, that is how it usually goes.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like this show so much, because even it's like drama, it's not super dramatic. It always feels more real.
Yeah.
I feel like it's never like this big like, no, you did this. Oh yeah, you did that. Oh, but like we love each other. It's okay. It's drawn out more than that. It's dealt with in a very real way. Claire and him get that argument, and you think it's fine, like they're good, but then they blow up again, and then she leaves. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I think things are getting better, but like that'd be unrealistic if they were like, yeah, we're fine, we love each other, and we're done. Like if they actually kissed. They had that moment where they look at each other, and then she's like gets mad and she leaves. Like that felt real. Like that felt like a real thing where she's like trying to come back, but she doesn't. I think of Richie and Carmen when they're arguing, where like Richie gets in his face and he's like, what do you think? But he doesn't immediately just start like punching him and beating him up. He like gets in his face, gets mad, and then since he has such a strong connection with Sid, when Sid tells him to stop, he backs up and he's like, all right, cousin, let me hear you out, you know? And then they talk, and then it's great and it's good. But even then, it doesn't end with them being like, oh yeah, I love each other. Yeah. It's like he's still mad. He's still bad, but he's learning to forgive him. He's like, you know what? Like, I understand that they connected on a deeper level, but it doesn't mean everything that happened is gone. You know, like there's still problems. I love the show for that. Last conversation that I love so much is Sugar and Carmi's conversation. I think like third episode's like beginning of the season. Yeah. When she's like, Carmi, you left to go do this thing that you love. Maybe it's okay that you don't love this thing anymore. Yeah. Can I tell you I love the direction? I love that direction for the show. Leading into the finale and him saying, I want to leave. Yeah. I love that. That is good growth. That is the best growth. Because everyone reacted in the way that they should. They were mad. They were upset. No one even really was like, yeah, never mind, you're good, except Sugar. Because when, dude, I almost started crying when Sugar hugged him. Because when she hugged him, she was like that was basically her, like, saying, like, wow, like, my brother's growing. Yeah. My brother's finally trying to get better. This is television, my guy. Exactly. This is straight television, bro.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, just real quick, but what you said about the whole, like what is this show doing that's so good, and like just how they're directing certain scenes. They're staying in the moment. That's what they're doing. They're staying in the moment, and that's like you saying that thing about Claire and Carmi, where it's like, oh, like the cliche way would have been, oh, let's make up and then we're good again, but it wasn't. It took time, and I was gonna go like, I think that is what's so good. They leave you in that moment. They leave you, and I think that was perfect that the wedding scene kind of brought all that together. Like the wedding scene, everybody's under the table. Yeah. Because then they actually kind of got to heal and actually be like, yo, like, maybe we are. Like, it helped people try to pretty much figure out, like, the crap they're dealing with in their lives. Like, it gave them a breath of fresh air for a second. Because, you know, in the show, they're always, like, going 10,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, totally.
So, you saying they're staying, like that thing, and then me going, like, they're staying in that moment. I think that's the most, like, the perfect thing they do in this show. Because there's so many, like, that last conversation, I was wondering how long this, like, conversation was going to take, but then when Richie came in, I was like, oh, it's getting...
Dude, it was the whole episode, right?
It was the whole episode. The last episode was the whole episode, just them sitting outside talking, and I liked it. I was like, this is the moment they've needed. Like, and then even when, like, when she finds out Carmi's not coming back because of the whole contract thing with Pete and stuff, and then Carmi brings up, yeah, well, you've been trying to leave. And then she's like, don't do that. And then she starts fessing up about how she felt about it. And then Richie comes outside. I'm like, oh, shoot. So now what are they going to deal with? And then they bring up Michael and his funeral. And I was like, oh, man, this is deep. And then his sister comes out and it's like, oh, this is how it wraps up. This is how Tribo's wraps up. It's perfect. And instead of her freaking out on him and everything, she cries like, and it seems like happy. She goes and hugs him, and that's the end of the show. And I'm like, that's a pretty good ending.
So good. Really fast. I liked that final episode so much because Carmi trying to explain himself, because everyone just assumed Carmi's being same old Carmi, like, oh, you're gonna leave when things are bad, you always do that, whatever. And he's like, that's not what I'm doing, that's not what this is, that's not what it is. And again, that feels like a real conversation.
Exactly.
People are talking over each other constantly.
Yep.
He's like, no, I'm trying to explain to you, and he says that like 7 times. I'm trying to explain to you, like, and he's like, no, and like, to most people, I think that would be annoying because, like, even me watching it, even me watching it, I'm getting annoyed. I'm like, just listen to him. Like, listen. Like, you're not letting him talk.
I was getting mad for a second. I was like, Sid, shut up. Let him finish.
But what I'll say is, we would all be like Richie and Sid in that exact same situation.
Exactly.
So I can't blame them for trying to talk over each other.
Yeah.
And I can't. What I love about the show is they don't let things play out in like in a script way. It feels very much like a real life way.
Yeah.
This show is real life. Like, this feels, the relationships are so real. The conversations are so real. Their growth is so real. Everything, dude. And let's talk about my boy Marcus, who freaking is up, baby.
Congratulations,
He's up,
man.
baby. Oh my gosh, him getting that. I thought it was gonna be Sid. I was so confident it was gonna be Sid.
I thought it was gonna be Sid,
and then
too.
freaking Sugar. She's like, Marcus, and I'm like, no way. Like, let's go, like, go. He's so great. I love him so much too. Everyone just improving. I can't wait for the show to be done so I can watch it from beginning to end and be like, wow. Like, look at how these people grown. It got renewed for season 5.
Yep.
Personally, I think the show gets one more season after and it's done. Maybe 2. I think season 6, though, like, makes sense, especially if season 5 is them now trying to make a profit for the restaurant, and then season 6 is like epilogue, Carmi's gone, he's not cooking, how's his life going, you know? Because I think if they renewed it for season 5, they would have said it's the final season already. So I feel like they're going to do season 6. Hulu, I swear if you cancel this show, I swear on everything, if you cancel this show, I...
When this show or if this show ends,
I just dropped coffee on myself.
oh, that sucks.
Not even care.
While he's cleaning that up, I do not want any spin-offs for this show. I don't
Oh,
want
hell
any
no.
movies. I don't want any continuations. When you say it's the final season of The Bear, that's the final everything of The Bear, in my opinion. Like, there are probably going to be some fans going like, oh, like, let's do something with Sugar. Let's do something with Jimmy.
My
Let's
gosh,
do something with Nathan.
I'd hate that so much.
There needs to be nothing. Like, this is the first show where I'm like, I don't see another path anywhere. like, I literally don't. I don't see let's do something on another restaurant. I don't see that. I don't see it working well. Like, I think once it's done, it's done.
They call it The Beef, and it's a prequel series telling Mikey's story before he kills himself.
I don't want that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be so stupid.
Oh, yeah. I don't want any of that. So, just to finish my points off on this, please don't make any spin-offs.
Hell no.
Please just keep it as clear as it is. And when it's done, it's done. That's my vote.
It's done. That's it.
I'm just letting you, if you have anything else.
Oh, any final things? Yeah, don't do spin-offs. I'll actually, like, be very upset. I'll be very, 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 very frustrated if they were like, sequel series for The Bear called The Beef, where we talk about the franchise of it now because it's this multi-million-dollar company. Don't do that. I think it loses the, like, complete point of the show.
Yeah.
The Bear isn't great because it's the kitchen. The Bear is great because it's about the Bear's autos. That's why it's great. And I don't need more stuff about any one of them.
Yeah.
Because the show does a great job of, like, giving me just enough to latch onto, but it doesn't show me everything. I am waiting for the episode when they do Mikey's funeral. It's gonna happen.
Oh, it is.
100%.
It has to
If they
happen.
never did it, I wouldn't be upset.
What if that's the last episode? What if that would be the last episode?
That'd be a weird final episode.
The
Like
second to last episode.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Because I feel like that would low-key be a good way to, like, kind of wrap everything up, but then lead to the final, like...
Yeah, I think a second to last episode would make more sense.
Yeah.
final episode ending off of like a flashback would be kind of weird. Like then it's like, but what happened to everyone else in the future? You know?
I wonder, what would you do if you made that episode? Would you title it Mikey or Funeral?
Probably Funeral. I feel like that makes more sense of how they title things.
Got you.
But then it'd be a throw off, and it's like, actually, Sugar's dead.
Richie died.
Yeah.
Sugar.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know,
That's
like
getting on
random.
playing, but yeah.
But yeah, I love The Bear so much. I think it has high potential to be. I think it already is like one of my favorite shows of all time. I love it so much. I relate to it in a lot of ways. It feels like my family. Like it just like I think that's why I like it so much. I come from a big family. Like a lot of people. Like you go to a family function. My brother's graduation party just happened.
Mr. O'Kill.
It literally was where like people are coming up to me and they're like, "Oh, hi." Well, like, and it's just like, dude, like this is insane. I don't realize how many people are in my family. So I love it about the show so much. Like I love that style. I love that gives me something to relate to. But also I just relate to a lot of the characters. I think a lot of their struggles and their thoughts are very relatable. And I think it's a show that I think most people can relate to, and I think it's a really great show. Again, we complain about not supporting original ideas, and then you got shows like that y'all aren't watching. So you know what? Shut up. Watch The Bear.
Literally what he said.
All I'm saying, though, is The Bear is racing to the finish line to be probably my favorite show ever. But you know what also is a movie about racing to the finish line? F1, baby.
Oh, you want to talk about that F1?
I want to talk about that F1. Phil, I talked a lot about The Bear. I want you to go first. Or wait, did you go first? You went first for The Bear. Do you want me to go first for F1?
You got it.
I imagine you have more to say. I watched F1 Monday in a 4DX theater. First time 4DX theater experience. Let me talk about the 4DX theater experience really fast. Here's my spoiler-free review for the 4DX theater experience.
Go for it.
It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Okay, here's my thing. 4DX is fun. I don't know if I'd be willing to like consistently do that. To me, it doesn't elevate the movie experience. It's just kind of fun. Like it's like, oh, this is a good time, I guess. But I don't like for a Fast and Furious, that would be a blast because those movies aren't serious. F1, it was great, but like to me, bro, every time the car scenes were happening, the races, I'd start laughing because my seat would start moving, and I'm like, oh, whoa, like, oh man, I'll spoil it later when we talk about spoilers. But there's a scene that with the 40X kind of makes it a little funny, but the random humps also when they'd be on the road, you just like get jerked back. So like that basically, like the way it jerks like that would get me every time. I don't know. I just thought the movie was so funny. I'm gonna spoil one very minor thing.
No, not yet.
No. It's very, very minor. When Brad Pitt's making out with that girl, I really wish the seat jerked. I thought that would be so funny.
No!
But it didn't do it. It didn't do it. I was like, damn, missed opportunity.
Oh my god.
But here's my review for F1. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's actually very great. It's a great movie. A little safe. Not a little. Actually very safe. It's a very safe movie, but not in a way that I mind. Not in a way that like I'm frustrated. Like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Like, I really appreciated that this movie was very safe, but the music was great. The visuals were insane. The characters were very likable and interesting. And there's nothing like a 0 to 100 story. Like, it's very satisfying to watch. When you get me to root for a team, there's nothing like it, you know? So I didn't need this movie to take any crazy twists or turns. I just kind of needed it to be solid, and I think that's exactly what it was. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Off to you.
I gave that movie an 8 out of 10 as well.
Woo!
I gave it an 8 out of 10. That movie, oh my gosh. So...
Hans Zimmer aficionado, by the way.
I believe... Wait, what happened?
Hans Zimmer aficionado, correct? It's Hans Zimmer that did the music for this movie?
You said aficionado?
Yeah.
What's aficionado?
Are you not a big Hans Zimmer guy?
I am.
That's what I'm saying. That's what that means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I thought I was telling you something racist. Like,
no.
What did you just call me?
I thought you meant like he got an award or something
No,
already. I was about to get
no.
lit. That movie, because I said F1, I've been hyped for it. I've been hyped for Sinners. I've been hyped for F1. I've been hyped for Weapons, Fantastic Four. I've been waiting on this movie. And that movie got me into Formula One racing.
Whoa,
That-
this boy
it
watching
got me-
Formula One.
It got me into Formula One racing, and that was the main point of the movie. Like at first, I was like, I just want to watch like something cool. Like I just want to see how cool these cars are, and it did way more than that. So, like, the opening, there were 2 openings to this movie, and they were so good. I almost called him Tom Cruise. Brad Pitt driving for NASCAR and opening, because I watched it in 4D as well. I watched it in 4D, and then I went and watched it in standard, because that's what I usually do sometimes now when it comes to I want to watch a movie in 4D. I try to see if the story or the movie overall would still be interesting if I watched it just without all the moving and stuff. Without a doubt, you need to watch this movie F1 in 4D. You have to. Like, feeling all the turns, the bumps, the acceleration of the cars was incredible in my opinion. Like, I went with a group of friends and we had the time of our lives in the theater. Everybody around us had the time of our lives. We were in a full 4D theater and we had incredible fun. The crowd was hype. Everybody was cheering too when certain things were going on, and I just loved it. But the reason why I love that movie too, the editing, the soundtrack, the actors, the Damson Idris X Brad Pitt combination, loved it, and the team aspect of it. The whole point of the movie, once again, was to get people on Formula One racing, and I feel like they did way more than that. Like, I loved the story. I just loved the shots of the movie. It looks so beautiful, and I loved the soundtrack. The soundtrack, it took me out because, all right, here's where I'm going to go. I did not know Hans Zimmer was the composer for the track of F1. I'm sitting in that theater. The first song comes on with Brad Pitt, and then it goes to him agreeing to, doing F1 again. And then it cuts to the course, and then the car moving. And I'm like, wow, I guess this is the official soundtrack, because the first one was a song by an artist. But I'm listening to the soundtrack, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. And the title cards come up, and the cars zoom in, and then I'm just like sitting here, and then finally the official track plays, and it's the first track is called F1. He's zooming, and I'm just listening to the track, and I'm like, dang, and I didn't think it was Hans Zimmer. I was like, whoever this guy is, like, he knows racing. He knows the feel of racing. And then right when the car stops, it's like run, and then it goes from exciting and like pushing the pace type of like sound to a mellow type of, okay, we're done now, let's tune the car, let's figure out what was wrong, and then it just mellows out and it goes zoom. I'm like, bro, this might be one of my favorite songs for a soundtrack, like, in a while. Sinners is still number 1, though, but, like, just listening to that soundtrack, I was like, dang. But 8 out of 10, non-spoiler, so I don't want to go into it yet, but I love that movie. I loved it. That was so good.
Movie.
But you want to get into spoilers?
Yeah, let's do spoilers
All right.
completely. I want to mention it just really fast for the 40X. When Damson Idris' character, like, his car, like, flips over and explodes, man. Whatever, our seat jerked.
Yep.
Why? It was like that, and then my heart sank. I was like, oh, dude, did he die?
Yeah.
I don't know why I was convinced he died, but it's because I forgot they wear fireproof suits, or, like, fire-resistant suits. I forgot. I was like, oh, there's no way he's alive. There's no way.
Too. I'm gonna be for real.
And I think that was my problem with 40X, is it made it feel more like a roller coaster. So every time, like, my seat would start moving, I'd get taken out of it. Like, I never felt immersed into the, like, I'm like, I am the car. Well, I mean, because my seat would move with, like, a bunch of different things. Sometimes when the camera would pan, my seat would move. I'm like, am I moving right now? Like, what's happening? Or, like, the cars would be racing, and I'd look over to see people moving, and people moving like this, and I'm like, that's so funny. But, I don't know, for me, I was like, I will do it again if someone asks me. For me, I'm not going to go out of my way to go do it.
Okay.
But, anyways, that scene hit, dude. That was very hard to watch. I love Damson Idris' character so much in that movie. I loved his growth throughout. He was very good. You know what pissed me off? That dude kept wearing sunglasses inside. Why? Oh my gosh,
he's
bro.
He's a young a-hole.
Are you seeing some sun that I'm not seeing? Because it's driving me insane, dude.
He's a young a-hole.
Oh my gosh,
Still
dude.
needs to mature.
Yeah, bro. Me, you also need to figure out where the sun is also, because I don't think there's any sun in there. Anyways, though, I liked him a lot. Brad Pitt, to me, was the standout. I think, like, obviously, like, Brad Pitt was going to be the standout. But I liked his victory story so much. I think the line was, like, you were never a what was, but you were, like, a never, what was it? You know what I'm talking about? It was, like, they told him basically, like, how when he was doing Formula 1, he was this high potential person.
Yeah.
And then he had that big accident, and now you're a nothing.
Yeah.
But they were saying when he was losing, like, what if you just, like, never were nothing? I forgot what the line was, but it was something like that, and that hit. I was like, damn, dude, damn, with the roast, bro. And I think his journey was just so great on how he learned how to work at a team, but also, like, all these know-it-alls, the people that were, like, on the headsets,
His team.
they also had to, like, sort of give in and be like, wait, let's actually listen to what he's saying. Like, sure, he hasn't done this in years, but maybe he has an idea. And he kept saying, like, we can't race how everyone else is or else we're not going to win.
Yeah.
And, like, I love that push for that. I just thought that was great. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say. I want to mainly hear you.
I just, like, watching in 40 and watching in Standard made me realize just certain different things that the movie's so good at. Like, obviously, the editing was unbelievable. Like, the certain shots they got of the car, I was mind blown. I couldn't tell if this was either a simulation or actually them in the cars moving the way they did. But I loved the fact that they established everyone's characters from the jump and what they need to learn. Because to me, the movie, like I said it before, the movie's job wasn't to give you an incredible, out-of-this-world, Oscar-worthy story. The point of the movie was to put you on Formula One racing. And that's why I keep mentioning the editing. They showed, in the camera shots, they showed so much of what I believe Formula One racing is about. Like, the way they work on cars, the tech, the mapping out the course, how many people go into this one car. Because I was thinking maybe you'll have 4 or 5, maybe even 10 people helping you with driving on that track for just one person. But it's more than that. Like, I just love how they showed you how a team, like how important a team is for Formula One racing. Because it's called Formula One. There's one driver in that car. Well, 2. Because there's a team too, but there is one driver in each car, and it just showed you how much, like, what all goes into winning the race or even just scoring a stinking point. And I love that. But I just loved Damson Idris' character. I love JP, but I also love Brad Pitt. I love Sonny Hayes, and I feel like that was both their names were so good. But I just loved how I couldn't really choose who I loved more. Like, I loved Sonny because he was a wild and reckless dude, but I also loved JP because you could tell he obviously is the man. Like, he is the guy who, he's the rookie, he's the star, this and that, yada, yada, yada. But he really wanted, he needed somebody else to, like, push him. He needed somebody else to help him achieve greatness. And I love that Sonny Hayes was that guy for him. Sonny's just this reckless, like, a-hole, but he was cool too.
We got 10th place. I love that. Like, why are you cheering? That was 3rd. We can do better. I love that so much. Like, where Dempsey Joshua Pierce, right? I have it right here. Yeah,
Yep.
Joshua Pierce. He, like, was just, like, trying to be with the media and, like, look, I'm happy. It's like, what are you smiling about? We lost. What are you doing? Like, we got 10th. I love that
posing for the camera, going like,
oh my gosh. But I love that Sonny Hayes was that, like, character for him, where it was like he needed a role model that was gonna push him harder.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was sort of just, like, giving in to him.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is he was just doing what everyone else does at the beginning, like appease the media, try and be charming, make sure you smile for the camera, you know. Just celebrate whatever.
Even his workouts like everybody else.
But Sonny Hayes was like, you know what? Yeah, even workouts like everyone else. They do the air thing. Yeah, and then near the end he switches to what Sonny was doing.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, that's so good, so well done, so well built out too. Like, it felt so natural. It didn't feel like a sudden switch or anything. It just felt like him. This change mainly happened when he realized that it wasn't Sonny's fault when his car flipped. Like, when he he's doing it and he's like, or he not realized, but he, like, was, like, trying to, like, figure out, like, what happened.
Yeah.
And then at that point, he's just sort of watching Sonny work and see how he functions and all these things. He's like, I should, like, maybe follow this guy a little more. I will say though, like the knock I'll give it on this movie is I really was expecting it to have a thing, like have like that twist that like, oh, whoa, that's a shift. I actually thought it was going to be them killing Josh. I was very confident they were for a second. I think that could have shifted the story in an interesting way, with Hayes now being responsible for someone's death and like him being the cause, you know, and like how he comes into everyone's life, destroys things, whatever. I think that could have been interesting, like just to see how that went out. But I understand it's not that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like its goal wasn't, like you said, to tell an Oscar-winning like narrative piece. It was just to present F1 in like a meaningful way.
Yeah.
And it 100% did that. But I just think like, wow, this is a great sports movie. Probably one of the better ones too.
Yeah.
But it's not a Coach Carter for me, you know? Like it's not Coach Carter. I don't think. I don't even think it's like a Ford v Ferrari. Like I don't think that movie's like crazy, like it twists and turns. But I think Ford v Ferrari is just better. And I think this movie needed like something to like bump it to the next level. And I just don't think it had that. But it had the characters, it had everything else. I was just saying like I feel like it needed a more enticing like narrative thing to like hold me. But I don't think it had it.
Yeah, that's valid. Like I feel like with some people that like that's definitely going to be the knock on it. That was why I gave it an 8 out of 10, because if I wasn't fully caring about that, I would have easily been like, oh, this is a 9 or 10 out of 10. But like with me, ever since I heard about the promotion of this movie, the budget, this and that, I instantly told myself, oh, this is just to promote F1. Like I thought there was going to be a very, very crappy story, but the story they gave you was the exact story that they had the time and the money for, because the budget they had and how much time they had to be in these cars and to get on the certain tracks they had, I think what they did was exactly what I needed. I don't know what you guys needed, but that's exactly what I needed.
I agree.
And I just love how, because I wanna go into JP a little bit too. I love how much he matured. I love how he just instantly figured out. I think he became Sonny, because you know how the one thing I love when I was watching the standard, when I finished watching 40 and then I went and watched the standard version. Remember at the end of the movie when he goes to race Baja and they ask, he's like, we can't really pay you too much, and he's like, it's not about the money, and he says, what is it really about? At the beginning of the movie when he's over at that diner eating the pie, and he asked that waitress for advice, basically asking, should I go or not? And she asked, well, how much does it pay? Or, well, it was something. It wasn't how much does he pay, but it was another question. And he instantly says, it's not about that. And she just says, what is it about then? And she just walks away and then goes into that second opening. I love that, because then I think that's what JP figured out. I think he figured out what is racing about to him. Because even in the poker scene, the woman, I forgot her name. What is the woman's name who played the engineer?
Kate.
When Kate asked both of them, and JP was the only person to answer, and I noticed that too, Mr. Brad Pitt, Sonny Hayes not answering the sticking question. She asked him, what is racing about to you? And JP just says, money, fame, and it seems like he's being an a-hole and like trying to like just get an answer out just to get an answer out. But I think literally that is what he was trained to think. That's what he was trying to do at first. But later on, when he's actually looking at not the brand endorsements and trying to do this and that, get the most money, get the most popularity, and he's in that race and he's locked in that final one in Las Vegas. I think that when he saw Lewis Hamilton across the road from him, he instantly thought, I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to beat the greatest Formula One racer right now. I'm going to beat Lewis Hamilton.
Wait. The last race was
Las Vegas.
I thought it was Abu Dhabi.
Was it Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I thought.
My bad. They showed Las Vegas.
Well, because I know
my bad.
because they had the Vegas race, right? That was the one when
Sonny crashed.
Yes.
My bad.
And they
Abu
had
Dhabi.
it, and they had the thing. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Abu Dhabi. But yeah, I just love how he instantly figured, like he pretty much became Sonny. He loved it for racing instead of just fame and everything. Mm-hmm. And I love that.
Yeah.
Like, I think this movie did exactly what it needed to do. And I love it. I'm not saying without a doubt it's best picture or anything like that.
No.
But for the mission it was trying to accomplish and what it did with it. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's great. On my list, I'll just say for like my list, I think it's like number 5 right now. Very high. I'm on like a winning streak for movies. I feel like where every movie I've been watching lately, it's like a 4-star, and it's like I went like 28 years later for F1, How to Train Your Dragon. Like, I'm just on a streak right now.
Okay.
But after hearing what some people said about Jurassic World, I have a feeling that streak's done.
I'm
But-
gonna go in with an open mind because
I mean-
I've been giving a lot of hate to it, but I want to give it a fair shot.
Look, I have an open mind about Jurassic. Because I don't care a lot about Jurassic. I've never seen the originals.
Oh,
I've only seen World and the third one. But I just, in general, I've never been a big dinosaur guy. So I just don't care. Like, I'm going to watch this movie and I'm going to be like, all right, we'll see. Like, I'm not expecting it to be awful. I'm not expecting it to be great. I'm just, like, watching it and I'm like, I'm watching this movie to watch it. But that's a different conversation. We'll talk about it next week because I'm going to watch it. Phil,
I feel you.
you have anything else you want to say on F1 before we move on?
Please go watch it, and please go watch it in 4D. If you just want to have a fun experience, if you don't care about the story that much and you want a little jolt to your life, go watch it in 4D, and also go watch Jurassic World. Just so you guys know.
Yeah. All right. We have around 30 minutes left.
Oh, easy.
Let's
money.
pivot
Boom.
to Ironheart. Show, review, Phil. Let's first give our spoiler-free takes on the entire show as a whole.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. I'm going to give it. And I hate doing this because sometimes I feel like a broken record. Like I repeat my numbers a lot.
Yeah.
But we watch a lot of great things. So that's why I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I liked it. It was surprisingly good. It's definitely a lower 7. Nothing crazy. Not obsessed with it by any means. But for what I thought this was and what I ended up getting, I was very, very, very impressed. And I think while I'm not in love with Riri yet, I'm not in love with a lot of the characters the show presented me, I think there's potential with Riri and Natalie specifically for their future in the MCU, and I can't wait to see how that develops later.
Yeah.
That's kind of it for spoiler free, because I think that I mainly want to talk about
Yeah,
the thing.
we'll get into
But here,
it.
your spoiler. What do you think?
Exactly what you said. I'm giving this a low 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to give it a higher. Like, I was close to giving it an 8. But there are some things that
100%, yeah.
need to be fleshed out.
Far from perfect.
And I actually do think there's going to be a season 2.
I think there might be too.
I think there's going to be a season 2.
But I don't, because I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, actually, I want to wait for we talk about this. I won't spoil it.
But
because-
yeah, oh, sorry.
Go.
But yeah, I'm just giving it a low 7 out of 10. I think that it introduced certain aspects that are important and really good. But like I said, there were some things lacking with it.
100%.
There were some things that were like, oh, this is kind of cheesy, but it kind of works, and I don't know, but I think that it was a fine and okay MCU TV show.
Totally, yeah.
I thought that it was okay.
On a different day, you can catch me saying this is a 6. But I think because of the high of the final episode for me, I'm giving it a 7. I think what I will say bumps it down a lot is I agree with you, a little cheesy. Mainly with the side characters, I think is that's where the show was like, man, what are we doing here? The Hood and his crew, I actually really like the Hood. Anthony Ramos killed it.
He
like,
did an amazing
I liked
job.
him a lot. Everyone else I wasn't with.
I was like,
None of them had real character. They kind of just all had really strong personalities, but I didn't like any of them. They kind of all were just a little annoying and there. I don't know. Like, I didn't care about a single one of them. I don't even remember their names. So I just felt like that was like a massive weak point. I think I wish... I would have loved to see more development with Riri and the dude. What's his name?
Isaac or something?
Something like that.
You talking about Ezekiel Stain?
No. The black dude. The
Oh,
guy
you're
that
talking
was
about
Natalie.
Xavier.
Yeah. I liked him. I liked their relationship, and I kind of wanted more of that. And I think the show like touches on it, and like near the end tries to wrap it up. But I would have loved to see more. Yeah, I want to get into spoilers. Do you want to get into spoilers? Can we
Let's
just
get
do
into
it?
spoilers,
Okay.
man. We have to.
Before we get into the big thing, I want to say, because I was about to spoil this. I thought Xavier finding out Natalie was like an AI bot. I thought his like switch to normal felt very fast.
Yep.
Like it was like, how could you do this to me, Riri? I hate you. Nah, we good, bro. You know, like I was like,
to help out, build your suit.
I was like, what do you like? He's like, I'm not okay with this. Like that's supposed to tell me, the audience, like, oh well, he's not okay with it, so that means he's not fine. But he seemed fine. So like, I just felt like that was a very fast turn, and they didn't properly develop that out because I think there was something very interesting there, with like Riri being very selfish throughout the show.
Yeah.
And I think that's like proper growth. Like I can't wait to see that build, and I would have loved to see them delve more into that. They didn't, because 6 episodes, and they didn't want to fully commit to the show.
Yeah.
Needless to say, though, Phil, I wanna talk about the big reveal. Okay, so this is, for all you MCU fans, this is a big deal. We've been talking about this for 5 years now. 2020, WandaVision. All of us saying, where is he? Where is the guy? Where is the man? Where is the scariest dude? Nightmare freak, scary boy himself, Mephisto. Phil, what if I told you 5 years ago that in 5 years we will get an Ironheart TV show after Wakanda Forever, and Mephisto will be introduced in that show? What would you tell me? I'm crazy. That's what you tell me. That's what you tell me. I'm crazy. And you know what? I think it is a little crazy that Mephisto's here, but I welcome it because this is what it needed. It needed that crutch. It needed that, like, that thing. What was that thing? Mephisto, baby.
Yeah.
And who did they cast to do it? Mr. Borat himself.
That was so perfect,
what the
bro.
frick?
That was
what
so
the
perfect.
Frick? What the frick?
Do they even have him listed on?
He is. I have him here. Sacha Baron Cohen. Oh my gosh. I'm like peeking the mic right now. I got
sorry. So lit, bro.
Dude.
Like in my bed.
He delivered, bro. Delivered like insanely well. He has like his performance was like immediately like enthralling. Like he started talking, I'm like, not because I thought he was Mephisto, because I just, like, his voice is so good, it's so strong. I love when Riri's like, you little Dormammu guys. Like, Dormammu? Him?
And then what did he say? He said he would be lucky to even, like, wipe my butt or something?
Something like that.
I was like, whoa, okay. He's way more powerful than I thought.
I love that intro so much. The shot of him on the spoon scared me. It was like almost 3 a.m, and I'm like, I don't like this. It was very good. Very well done. Love that reveal so much. I want you to talk because I want to keep going, but I don't want to take everything.
Bro, so. I kept telling y'all, like, it was, the whole show kept on screaming, like, and for all of you conservative Christians and Christians overall, it was screaming some demonic. I'm not trying to say it was fully demonic. I know Satan, this and that, but they kept on using the word demonic. So I kept on thinking, if they're going to keep using the word demonic and there's going to be the word possession in there, the MCU devils got to be coming in sometime soon. Like, I was just like, when is he coming in? And I got a little sad for a second when they went to the store and they brought up, like, Dormammu, and it's from Dormammu, and I was like, dang it, I was so close. But then right when that last episode played and he's running and like, he goes to the tunnel, and I'm like, how's he going to get out of there? And all of a sudden, this hand comes out of nowhere, and it's like this voice that's a little raspy. I was like, dude's offering him a way out in this portal he created. And I was thinking maybe it's Mordo. But then I was like, that doesn't look like Mordo. He doesn't have his hair. So then right when he goes into the diner, and then they're talking for a second, they don't show his face. And I'm like, wait, he's in a suit. Oh! In my head, I was like, that's Mephisto! That's Mephisto! And then right when they showed the actor, I was like, it's gotta be Mephisto. If it's a sorcerer, okay, but it's gotta be Mephisto. It makes so much sense. He's offering him a deal. He's making a deal with the devil. The literal devil of the MCU. Come on. It's gotta be Mephisto. And so right when, they show us how he got the hood, then it flashes forward, the whole fight happens, Riri sits down with him, and you're thinking, oh, he's doing another deal. I'm like, bro, if this isn't Mephisto, I'm going to die. And then right when he says, some people call me some bad names that are offensive, but since I like you, you can call me Mephisto. I went, yes.
About time.
and I wouldn't even. I'm actually kind of shook. I'm rooting for the devil for a sec, but I'm glad he's there.
I'm just
glad.
happy we have him. Finally,
Yes,
about time.
Finally, Mephisto is here. Finally, what do you think about
That
it?
entire final section was shot incredibly because I genuinely didn't know what they were gonna do.
Yes,
I was like, oh, come on, she's gonna reject him. That's so obvious. And then it kept going, and I'm like, okay, wait, I don't know actually.
Yeah.
And it kept going, and I'm like,
yes,
she didn't. And then it
Yes!
kept going, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she did it.
I was like, you idiot.
What a turn.
Yeah.
That's insane. Never in my life would I have expected Ironheart to be teaming with Mephisto.
Yeah.
Is that a comic thing? Can someone tell me, is that a comic thing? Because I don't think it is.
I don't think
It doesn't need to be. I'm just saying, like, where's the correlation? That's crazy. I am so curious to see how that's going to play out. And I think that's the reason why it needs a second season.
Yes.
But Ryan Coogler said it's going to lead into Doomsday. You posted that on the film.
I forgot about that. I was trying to figure out how this would lead into Doomsday, but I think it's because of the end credit scene.
You think?
That is for Strange Academy. That is 1000% for Strange Academy.
Is that what that was?
Because the other character's name, Zelma, she is a sorcerer who knows about Kamartaj. I believe that's
Yeah,
the
the
name?
Karmatage.
Karmatage. She's one of the young sorcerers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about Strange Academy right now and how they want to, like, either do a TV series or movie for it. They're deciding because they're talking about Nova and Strange Academy, and they're deciding if both of those should just be TV, like what they should be, whether they should be TV series or movies.
Probably movie.
I think that Strange Academy should be a TV series.
Well, they're shifting away from doing big, like, CGI stuff for their shows.
Yeah.
They're sticking to more street level. So I think, like, you'll never get a Strange movie or show like that. Like a Strange Academy movie or show. I think you're going to see them, though, talked about in, like, a movie for sure.
Oh, they will, but I think without a doubt, Nova should be a movie and Strange Academy should be a TV series. Like, without a doubt. It has to be. Nova is way too big to
You
be a
really
TV
think,
series.
though, that, like, because, see, this is my question. This is what I was, like, kind of, like, curious about. And it started making me scared for Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Are they tackling too much? If Riri is in Doomsday and she's with Mephisto, you have to, like, get into that. You can't just leave it be.
That's what I'm confused about. a
So
little bit.
you have Doctor Doom, you have Mephisto. That seems like two major villains to, like, put in one movie.
Yeah.
You know, like, that just doesn't make too much sense to me. So I'm, like, thinking, like, maybe she's just gonna not be in Doomsday or Secret Wars. To me, that feels like the wrong decision. I feel like she should be there. Like, at least for Secret Wars, she should be there. So my question is, Phil, do you think she's in either?
What about this? Okay. So remember when it shows, I forgot, Parker in that room and he's screaming for Mephisto to come out pretty much. And he comes and he's like, geez, man, you know I'm busy. And then he says the words, you know,
I have other
I had
clients.
other clients. What if instead of, like, it leads into Doomsday, what if Mephisto was talking to certain Avengers about certain things? Or certain villains about certain things, bro? Like,
That'd be
maybe
interesting.
that's what leads into Doomsday. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Because it would make some sense to me, too, because I was looking into the whole Doomsday Secret Wars. I didn't look at the comic panel for that or something like that, but apparently Secret Wars is heavily, and that's why I'm weirded out, because there was a rumor saying that Doom isn't going to be in Secret Wars, but I believe he is. But Secret Wars really needs Doom. It needs Doom and the Beyonder. And the key thing with Secret Wars is the Battle World stuff and the different superheroes versus the different villains. So Mephisto has to be doing something to manipulate or help Doom. That's probably what's going on here. Because what if they try to change it where Doom made a deal with Mephisto and Mephisto was playing him but also playing everybody else that's trying to have things going on, mainly villains.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing leading into Doomsday.
That would make sense.
He's probably making deals with certain key players in Doomsday.
That'd be the way it'd have to work out, because I just don't understand how like you can have Riri present and like everyone's like, bro, like what's going on with you?
I was
You
about
know?
to say, because I don't think, or then my bad. Answering your question, I don't think Riri's in it.
Okay, you don't?
I don't think Riri's in Doomsday. I think that this is too much of a big scale for her, and she still has some stuff going on, like the whole Natalie thing, which is what you were talking about originally. Like apparently she made a deal.
That's her deal. Yeah,
to bring
Natalie's
Natalie back, and that threw me off because I was like, oh shoot.
Which,
like,
by the way, she's not actually back. That's not her.
yeah.
That's definitely not her.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. Like,
It's
we know
not.
how this works, you know?
You sacrificed something, and obviously she had that thing growing from her.
Mm-hmm. She has the dark magic. So, I'm curious. I thought that was a really interesting twist, and I think that was like the like, whoa, I wouldn't have expected the show to do this. But I will say, like, I think the show lacked a lot, had a lot of problems, but it was better than I expected.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. The villain, the Hood, very strong.
Oh, yeah.
Very convincing. Riri, the performance was great. Dominique Thorne killed it. She
Yep.
was so good. Good chemistry with Natalie. Like overall, it was a good show that had that like thing to bring it up, but too many problems for me to not say it's like a top tier MCU thing.
Yeah.
Finale wise, it's probably one of the best finales we've gotten for a
1000%.
show. I think it's like Loki's the pinnacle for me. Loki's the best. Hawkeye's is great. I think this might be third if I'm remembering the shows properly. Like if I'm not missing anything. I think like Moon Knight, no. She-Hulk, no. She-Hulk was creative, but no. WandaVision, I think maybe. Agatha's, if it ended off episode 8, I'd argue that it was.
Yeah.
Like that would be up there. But I do want to talk about before we close briefly, because we're running really short on time. So this show on IMDb is currently sitting at a 3.7 user score. And I just want to say, for the record, y'all really showing no true colors, man. Like, come on, that many people are really giving it ones because you're a racist? Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I think if you genuinely don't like it, that's fine. Like, you can give it a 1 if you don't like it. You can give it a 4 if you don't like it.
Yeah.
You can give it a 5. If you like it, you can give it a 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. But to go out of your way to just give something a 1 immediately and just to rank it, just be like, yeah, look how garbage it is. Like let's show everyone else how bad it is by like bloating the score. Is so just like loser brain to me. So childish. So like, bro, you know, if you just don't like it, you don't have to watch it. You know, if you just don't like it, you don't have to go out of your way to rank it. Like, it just feels so unnecessary to me. So now when people are looking at shows, they're like, oh, Ironheart, this show must suck. But it doesn't. Because people are racist.
I'm gonna be for real. I enjoyed this show more than Agatha. I enjoyed this show more than Agatha all along. Because that ending really killed it for me. But even through Agatha, I was kind of like, eh.
I think what I liked about Agatha so much is it was weirder. I liked how like unwavering Agatha was, and I wouldn't have expected that.
Agatha got a 7.2.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's because the scores. So like, look, if you look at the like comparisons, Ironheart like total reviews is gonna be around what? It's at 29K. How much is Agatha at? Probably like more. Let's see, never mind, not that much. Damn.
Wait, you're playing
79K. So Agatha's at, but
Wow.
okay, that's 50,000 more reviews. Wait till those come in, and you'll see more people like sort of bump up that score.
Hopefully, bro.
It'll probably go to like a 5, maybe a 6, because I think even She-Hulk has higher scores than it. Which that
She-Hulk?
yeah, it does. She-Hulk has a 5.2, which is crazy. You know, like She-Hulk is far worse than Ironheart. You know, and
yeah.
it is. It's far worse. That's not even like She-Hulk is funny, but it like doesn't do anything interesting. It's not great. It's not nowhere near good. I think it's like bad to okay. It has like that one Daredevil episode that's great. Not even because Daredevil's in it, but because like the Ribbit and Rip It is so funny. I'll never forget that. But I think that show was trying to be a comedy, and it wasn't a good comedy.
Yeah.
Ironheart, what it sets out to do, I think for the most part it hits. It just is lacking a lot of things because of the limited amount of episodes, and because I don't think it like I think just writing problems in general. That's me. I don't think She-Hulk should have a much higher score than Ironheart. Like, that's
Yeah.
just gross to me.
Ironheart definitely needs to be a consensus 6 to me. Like
Yeah,
a 6.2
yeah.
or 6.
Like, because that's what Miss Marvel is. Miss Marvel's at like a 6, 6.2. And I really like Miss Marvel.
But like, Miss Marvel I like Miss Marvel. But for the grand scheme of the MCU, like bringing Mephisto in, that's a very like important storyline because that means that, and that's one thing that also bugs me about Ironheart a little bit. I think, without a doubt, it needs a season 2 because it needs to show more of her heart in it too. Like that's one of her most important character traits. Like from what I learned about Ironheart, and like her making a deal with the devil, I don't think is the best way to end the show. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you need to have her in a season 2 or in another arc of another character show, breaking the bond with the devil and overcoming the devil, because that would have elevated her character status.
Yeah,
purely.
totally.
Because if she can defeat the devil, she can defeat anybody. Mm-hmm. But with going back to the grand scheme of the MCU, it's a very important show.
Yeah.
Because that means more people are going to be making deals with the devil, whether it's superheroes, villains, or even just random civilians.
Look, we're at the point in the MCU now, though, before we close, where I feel like these things will come out, and the people that love it will watch it. And the people that don't care, even when they see it in the movie, they're not going to like really be like, I don't think it like puts off a lot of people to me. I think if you see Doom, or in Doomsday, let's just say in Doomsday, Mephisto's there, right? Because those are going to be the big movie that everyone's going to go watch. I don't think people are going to be like, what? Who's that? I think it's very clear who Mephisto is because he's just Marvel Satan. Yeah. You know? Like, that's a very easy concept to understand. So by introducing him here, where it's like this hype for us fans, it's like, cool, like this is sick. For people that don't care, when they see him in Doomsday, it's not going to be like man, I missed too much. How can I keep up? No one's going to care. At this point, I don't think anyone cares. And I think even Kevin Feige's aware with that. And I think that sucks. It's unfortunate, but I'm fine with it. It keeps a lot of losers away, except with Ironheart, you know? Except with Ironheart, in this case, everyone all of a sudden was like, yeah, it sucks. But we know who you people are. We know how you guys are. So, yeah.
I wanted to ask, well, how much time do we have?
We have like 5 minutes.
I want to ask a question before we leave. It has to do with F1 real quick. Because I really was curious at the end of that movie. Like, for F1 the movie, and for all of you guys who are like Formula One racing like fans, was that a good adaptation of Formula One racing? Like, if you were to put somebody on a movie or even try to explain F1 to them, would you point people in that direction of that movie? Or was it like not really that, I'd say, what's the word that people use when it comes to like accurate? Was it not that accurate, the Formula One racing? I'm just curious. So I'd love to hear from you Formula One racers, like, or even just fans. Was it accurate to Formula One racing?
All right.
Just wanted to ask that real quick.
All right, guys. That was the Film Podcast, where we talk about movies, TVs, everything under the entertainment sun in a way that anyone can enjoy. I'm Isaiah. That's Phil. Be ready. We have something special for you guys next week, and the following week it's going to be fun. Comic-Con's coming up. Be ready. It's going to be great. Eat your breakfast. Have a great issue.
And watch Superman.
Oh, yeah, Superman.
And Jurassic World.